At first, he'd been right glad of the change. If he couldn't be a hero in Jeb Stuart's cavalry, then he'd see what life was like at sea. No more marching in worn-out shoes, leaving your blood behind on the snow or the railroad tracks. And damn little chance to get shot, either. Maybe on a ship there'd be something besides hardtack to eat. Maybe they'd just sail right away from the whole war. He'd heard Confederate ships had been to Europe, the Caribbean, even the Pacific Ocean. But he hadn't got far. Here he was at the mouth of the James River, within spitting distance of Richmond. The Virginia was an ironclad, the flagship of a fleet of 8, charged with the duty of guarding the capital from invasion by water. The 3 ironclads were moored across the only available channel in the James, their might bolstered by 5 wooden gunships and the naval batteries ashore. The crews remained there, cramped, hungry, and landlocked, waiting for it all to end. Tom Bridgeford, who was standing at the rails looking out over the river, called out, "Come and wave, boys! Flag of truce boat coming by." Gabriel Hawks looked over the side as the little boat churned its way upriver. It was overflowing with newly released prisoners of war being repatriated to the Confederacy in a prisoner exchange with the Union. The freed soldiers laughed and whooped and let out a mighty yell when they saw the Confederate flag on the Virginia's mast. Gabe waved to the cheering throng, but he did not smile. "Damn fools," he said to Bridgeford. "What do they think we're going to feed them?" "I don't reckon they know how bad it is," said Bridgeford, as he watched them go. "And what do they reckon that booming is? A thunderstorm?" The low rumble of cannon fire had been echoing across the water all afternoon. He'd heard talk of a battle in Petersburg, but that was nothing new. The fighting had been within earshot of Richmond for weeks now. But still the lines held, and spring came and church bells tolled, just like nothing was amiss. Gabe Hawks grinned at lanky, red-headed Tom Bridgeford. "Why, I figured that rumbling was just my stomach complaining that my throat's being cut. It's been so long since I've sent any food down there." "Too bad you're not back on your pissant farm," said Bridgeford. "You could just go out in the woods and shoot you something." "I would, too," said Gabe. Bridgeford was a carpet knight from Wilmington who thought that potatoes grew on trees. "I reckon I could shoot me a wild pig that could feed—" But Bridgeford wasn't listening. "Look what's coming," he said. "Steamer pulling alongside." A uniformed man stood waiting to board the ironclad. He looked grim, and he held a package tightly under his arm as he stared up at the flag. "What do you reckon he wants?" asked Gabe. He was only a master's mate, and the rituals of the flagship were strange to him. Bridgeford sneered at such a tomfool question. "Admiral Semmes is aboard, isn't he? They just were sending dinner along to his cabin as I came up. It's probably some military intelligence for him." "Maybe we're going to attack." Gabe was tired of sitting in the river, listening to the war and echoes. "In that case, let's play a hand of cards," said Bridgeford, reaching in his pocket for the worn and crumpled deck that had almost outlasted the war. "Might as well enjoy what's left of a perfect day." "Play cards on Sunday?" cried Gabe. Bridgeford shook his head. "Hawks, they're killing people in Petersburg. Do you think the Lord will notice a friendly hand of poker?" They were still at it when twilight came, and the order was given to get the ships under way for Drury's Bluff. "What are we going to do up there?" Gabe asked, as a seaman hurried past. The sailor stopped, wide-eyed, and whispered, "I overheard the Admiral talking to his messenger. He says he's going to destroy the fleet." Chapter 1. Just Before the Battle, Mother. George Frederick Root, from a Civil War song. Edinburgh, June 8th, 1992. Dear Bill, there is a silly rumor going around the family that you have graduated from law school, passed the bar exam, and are actually setting yourself up in practice as a partner. I suppose that this will settle the...